Hi, I wanted to talk to you today about fear, the subject we all go through. You might be going through something like that. You might be afraid of cancer, you might be afraid of dying, you might be afraid of, I'm talking about people on medications because of fear. And some of us would like to be tough and say, oh, I'm not afraid of anything. But we all go through at times different kind of fear. But there is a kind of fear that not all of us go through, but at one point or other, people go through it, and sometimes they have to have a lot of help, professional help. At one point, I'm just going to quickly share a story of what happened to me, and maybe it will help someone. When I was 18 years old, I was in college, and I saw that a lot of people were getting cancer, so I was very afraid of getting cancer. I couldn't even have a moment of peace without thinking, I'm going to get cancer. What happened was, the rules of the college were we had to have the lights shut off by 10. I was trying to sleep and I couldn't because of that fear. So I went and got a piece of paper and a pen. And nobody told me to do that. It was just something that, because I was so afraid to pray about it, because I didn't want to say the word cancer. So anyway, I went and stuck my head in the hallway where I could see, and I had a paper and a pen, and that night I wrote a letter to Jesus, and in that letter I told Jesus how afraid I was. Anyway, I don't remember the exact words I said to him, but I do remember in that letter I told Jesus how afraid I am of cancer. And it wasn't a long letter, it was just enough to share my heart. And if someone was to ask me, can you give me a scripture to that to help support what you're saying? Anyway, before I go into that, I wanted to tell you the next morning I got up and that fear had completely left me. Since that day, I've never had that fear again. It just like never came back. It was awesome. It was an awesome thing that God did for me, and I know He will do it for you. But the scripture I want to share with you today is when Jesus said, "Cast your care upon me because I care for you." He cares about you. He loves you. And He wants to take that fear, that panic attack that you're experiencing away from you. He loves you. He wants to do something great in your life. Casting, He says, "Cast your care upon me." Cast is not handing me something, it's throwing it with a force. So Jesus is saying, cast your care upon me, throw it with a force. Give me your problems. Not hand me your problems. See, when you hand somebody something, you're still holding on to the other end of it. Okay? You're handing it, but your hand is on the other end. But He didn't say, hand me your problems. He says, cast your care upon me because I care for you. So He wants you to, today, to whatever you're going through, whatever fear, whatever depression that you're going through, you've thought about suicide, the spirit of suicide is following you around like the spirit of fear that was following me around. He can completely set you free of that. So right now, today, go cast your care upon Him, whether with a paper and a pen. There was nothing magical about me writing on that pen or paper. What was magical about the whole testimony that I'm sharing with you is that night I was able to cast my fear on the Lord, and He completely set me free, and He will do the same for you. You do not need to go kill yourself. No, that has to go. That spirit of suicide, that spirit of fear, that spirit of not wanting to live has to go. So right now, get on your knees, get a piece of paper, get a pen, and cast your care on the Lord. Write Him a letter. If you can't pray it, write it. Write a prayer down. And just completely give it to the Lord. And I promise you, He is real. If you'll cast your care upon Him, He says, I will care for you. I'll take care of you. May God bless you and have a great day. Jesus is real and He loves you very much.